They wheeled you down beneath the morning lights, past all the polished steel and antiseptic white. Your brave face on my shaking hands held still, like love could bargain with a window ledge of pills. And somewhere in that hush beyond the swinging doors, men with masks and broken sleep were gone to war, to mend the little gates inside your faithful heart, while I stood in the hallway feeling mine come apart. Then came the call that buckled time in two. Come now, they said, we're doing all that we can do. And I drove through a world that suddenly went thin, like everything I'd known was paper in the wind. They opened up your chest in fury, fear and grace. No careful line, just needing seconds in that place. He had to reach the fire before it vanished in the dark, while I prayed to every god I knew to guard your spark. And you almost stayed in a garden without a sun, where the light came from everywhere and the sorrow came from none. You almost stayed where the trees knew your true name, but love is a road through the worlds, my dear, and it pulled you back through the flame. For days you lay where machines spoke for your breath, with wise and the weary little mathematics of death. The drugs, the dreams, the storm inside your blood, the body fighting upward through a chemical flood. And while I watch the numbers rise and dip and crawl, you said you found a place untouched by fear at all, with winding lanes and stranger creatures, soft and round, rolling through the holy grass without a single sound. You told me there was light, but never from one place. It moved through leaf and air and rested on your face. And you remember thinking, plain as any prayer, this is so good, I don't need to go back there. That line still shakes me somewhere I can't explain, because you found a peace on the far side of pain, and something chose against your leaving in the end. Or maybe love refused to lose its oldest friend, and you almost stayed in a garden without a sun, where the light came from everywhere and the sorrow came from none. You almost stayed where the world was kind and strange, but love is a road through the worlds, my dear, and it called you back by name. But coming back was no sweet mercy at first. It were shadows in the corners and a dry and ragged thirst. Bad signs, blood visions, barbs where no barb should be. The mind makes haunted country when it's fighting to be free. And I was not beside you in the blackest of that fright. The truth still lives between us in the hour before light. I cannot make the distance, I can only say it plain. If I could have crossed that darkness, I'd have come through every flame. Now years roll on and the edges have grown dim, like a song half heard and floating from the rim. But I believe there are some doors the heart goes through, and though the mind may doubt, the soul still says it knew. Because you came back carrying more than scar and seam, more than the weight of morphine, panic, fever, dream. You came back with a softness and a depth behind your eyes, like someone who had touched a field beyond the veil of skies. You almost stayed in a garden without a sun, where the light came from everywhere and the sorrow came from none. You almost stayed, and a part of you stays there still, but you came back here to the broken world, and you bend it toward the hill. So when the day goes gold across the dashboard glass, and a ghost of someone loving seems to find you as you pass, I believe the veil grows thin in ways we cannot say, and some part of that garden still remembers you today.